What you need to know about Joe Burrow, turf toe, and the Bengals' future. Cincinnati, in a thrilling game that ended with a nail-biting 31-27 victory, the Cincinnati Bengals celebrated their first 2-0 start under head coach Zach Taylor. However, the atmosphere in the locker room was far from jubilant after their clash with the Jaguars. Players were terse in their responses, and a palpable sense of frustration hung in the air as everyone's attention turned to Joe Burrow, who was seen navigating the locker room with a protective boot on his left foot and a crutch under his right arm. Burrow had sustained another injury, and it became clear to the team that this situation might not resolve itself quickly. Reports from league insiders, including Diana Russini of The Athletic, revealed that Burrow is dealing with a significant turf toe injury, which may necessitate surgery and could sideline him for up to 3 months. Dr. Jessica Flynn, a seasoned sports medicine physician, analyzed the footage and confirmed that Burrow's movements during the game indicated a turf toe injury. She warned that the worst-case scenario could involve surgical intervention, and the Bengals are currently seeking additional opinions to determine the best course of action. In a similar situation, San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is also out due to a toe injury, described as a turf toe variant. While Purdy is expected to miss 3 to 5 weeks, his injury is classified as a grade 2, which is a more favorable outcome compared to what Burrow might be facing. Turf toe, as defined by the Cleveland Clinic, occurs when the ligaments, tendons, or soft tissues around the big toe joint are stretched or torn. The potential need for surgery represents the most severe outcome of this injury, which could mean Burrow might not return until December. This is the critical update that everyone will be anxiously awaiting. In less severe cases, players can continue to compete despite turf toe. For instance, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes played through a turf toe injury during the AFC Championship and Super Bowl in January 2021, utilizing a carbon fiber footplate in his cleat to manage the pain, although the Chiefs ultimately lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl LV. However, a player suffering from turf toe typically experiences a significant loss of power when pushing off the foot, making it nearly impossible to play effectively unless the injury is mild. As the Bengals look ahead, the focus will shift to how long they will rely on backup quarterback Tate Browning. Cincinnati is confident in Browning's abilities, having witnessed his performance in the past. Just last Sunday, he orchestrated a remarkable 12-play, 92-yard drive that culminated in the game-winning touchdown. Browning stepped in during the last 7 games of the previous season, when Burrow was sidelined with a wrist injury, finishing with a 4-3 record as a starter and completing over 70% of his passes. Notably, he led the team to a 3-game winning streak during that stretch, which included a victory against the Jaguars and their upcoming opponent, the Minnesota Vikings. "Jake's been in there and done it with us before," remarked T. Higgins, who caught a 42-yard touchdown pass from Browning. "It was a no-brainer. We had faith in him to step in without hesitation and no setbacks." The locker room exudes confidence in Browning's ability to secure victories, regardless of how long Burrow remains out. "When he comes in, he wins ball games," said center Ted Karras. "No fear, no panic, he gets it done. That's my guy. I believe he's a starter in this league. We're fortunate to have such depth at the position. It's unfortunate that we have to test it now. I saw everyone buckle down and make a play so we could go win the game," Karras added, highlighting the team's resilience. The atmosphere in the locker room is charged with anxiety regarding Burrow's absence. "Emotions are running very high right now," expressed Jamar Chase, who had an impressive game with 165 yards on 14 receptions. Higgins echoed those sentiments, stating, "It's tough right now. We're all eager to see what the results are. Those results are what have the Bengals bracing for the worst. The upcoming schedule poses a daunting challenge, especially for a team that may have to navigate without its franchise quarterback. The Bengals are set to face the Minnesota Vikings and their defensive coordinator Brian Flores next week, followed by a Monday Night Football matchup against the Denver Broncos. This will be followed by games against the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and a Thursday Night Football clash with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's 5 consecutive games against teams that made the playoffs last season. Early indications suggest that Burrow will likely miss all of these games, but the Bengals have started the season strong with a 2-0 record, placing them at the top of the AFC North, which helps alleviate some of the pressure. The resilient group found a way, Taylor noted. It feels like that's what this year is shaping up to be already. Photo, Sam Green. Images, Sep 15th. 2025 Connections. Sports Edition. Spot the pattern. Connect the terms. Find the hidden link between sports terms.